have seen in mind when they were fighting for democracy in Nigeria. A lot of them are pretty much saying this is no longer democracy. Okay. But it was also the day, okay, that a lot of them were giving speeches about where Nigeria is and where Nigeria should be, those who are for what is going on and those who are against. So the streets, the media, and almost everywhere is quite busy this time with what is going to be Nigeria's future. How is it going to pan out? We don't know. So tonight, I am going to share with you or with us all that happened at the Bring Back Our Children protest across Nigeria from yesterday to today, including the police brutality, the one that they shot fire, tear gas. They fired tear gas canisters at the protesters, in which one of them affected the Maiyegun, the AAC presidential candidate, who at that point lost their consciousness for a while before he regained that and went back to the same protested ground. He was there today too, by the way. However, for those of you who probably have seen some of the pieces of these events, okay, on Maiyegun's diary Politico, you can probably see the exclusive, how it all played out. So that's what we're going to do tonight, among many other stories. So share the broadcast if you haven't already. Invite your friends and your not so friendly friends, like I advised, and then let's get started. Okay. So Kalu himself gave what he called the Democracy Day speech. That was yesterday, where he was begging the Nigerians that, listen, you may not like me, you may hate the government, the blah, the blah. Do not hate your country. Do not talk down on your country, and so on and so forth. If time permits us tonight, I am going to share all of these happenings. Who said what, where, when, and who did what, where, when, right? So let's start first from the type of democracy that we thought they were fighting for and the one they gave to us today. This was MK Abiola, by the way, nearly 35 years ago. That was when the issue of annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, which he was adjudged to have won. So MK Abiola was later arrested when he declared himself the winner of the election, which was already annulled by the military junta, the military regime of Babangida. MK Abiola left Nigeria to exile, but eventually was advised to come back to Nigeria and declare himself as the president-elect. And that was the beginning of his own journey of no return. Abiola died in prison, so did many other people, struggling then to install democracy, as they said. But 27 years after that democracy, where is Nigeria now? Is this where they've actually envisaged for Nigeria, when a lot of people, not only that they were ready to die, like some of you are doing today, protesting, we no go agree, we no go, you know what I mean? People did that, but they faced the military. Many of them got killed. Many of them's businesses were destroyed and their lives destroyed forever. All because they thought democracy would be of the best government that, people who have a say, they will have, you know what I mean? 27 years after that democracy, here we are. They are begging us to please not hate our country because people have become so detached from Nigeria. No thanks to the criminals in charge of the country. So MK Abiola describing why he was fighting over 3 decades ago.
It will continue off and on until the military release the result of the June 12 election and put the democratically elected president, who is myself, in charge of affairs. I won't go to war. I won't encourage my supporters to go to war. I will fight for peace, and we will get peace. But see, we do not want the peace of a graveyard, a peace whereby somebody continues to ride on the rest of us with a gun. We will get peace, but we'll get peace with decency and integrity and honesty and probity and democracy.
Abiola was eventually arrested from his home in Lagos by men from the secret police in June 1994. During his arrest, he made this call to the BBC.
What is happening at your house? Are you being arrested?
I'm being arrested. I'm just going out now with the police.
Hello?
There's a large crowd here, and I was being escorted out to detention by singing the national anthem.
Why are they arresting you?
They are arresting me on an allegation of felony, nameless treason or something like that. They're not doing anything, they're just taking me away. Please let me go. I'm delaying them.
And so where are you now? Are you in your car?
I'm in my car now.
Is it police who are with you in your car, or are they escorted? Are they
Yes, the commissioner of police is in the car with me, and my senior wife is in the car with me.
Why are they letting you talk on the phone to the BBC while they're in the middle of arresting you?
They have come to arrest me, not to arrest my mouth.
You sound very cheerful about it, Chief Abiola.
Of course. It is all part of democracy here.
And you're happy to go to the police and await whatever charges they're going to file against you?
I'm not in any way disturbed by it. Any sacrifice is in order. If it will bring democracy, peace and prosperity to Nigeria.
Is it possible to talk to the Commissioner of Police who's with you in the car?
I don't know if the Commissioner of Police is authorized to talk. They cannot talk to the press.
What is your advice now to your supporters, many of whom we heard a moment ago?
Well, I told them before I left home to just stay calm. It is very, very important that they stay calm.
So you're appealing for calm, you don't want them to take any direct action in your support?
No.
You still say you're the president of Nigeria, but it's not much good if you're going to be in jail.
Well, Mandela was in jail for 27 years. Kenyatta was in jail. I suppose that is one of the qualifications you need in this part of the world. Don't worry yourself, my friend.
It will continue off and on until...
That was Chief MKO Abiola, and that was his last heard voice on record. The last phone call that he made to the BBC when the military junta took him in Ekpe, after he declared himself, after he declared himself president. Then, the other activists, politicians, continued the struggle that the sacrifice he made and that of his wife, and many others like that, would not go. Then military just had to go. Now, a lot of people bought into that. Democracy, government of the people, by the people, and for the people, that kind of convo, right? It was so popular. Only for the same criminals who ruined Nigeria, right? Who had so many opportunities, but what? Messed it up while they were military guys. They took off the uniforms and put on the agbada. They became civilians. Nigerians were not allowed to write their own constitution. The first beneficiary of that democratic experience is a retired, former coupist himself, Obasanjo. Now, 27 years after we finally got a democracy, a lot of people are now questioning it, like I said before. One of them is the presidential candidate of the SDP, Adewale Adebayo, who has been very vocal by telling everyone that if this government gets its second term as they are trying to do, Nigeria may never be good for it. So he released his own Democracy Day statement as well, addressing Nigerians like fellow Nigerians. Watch this.
Fellow Nigerians, today is June 12th, 2026. Exactly 33 years ago, we had an election in this country in which one should Kashimawo Olawale Abiola ran for president on the platform of the Social Democratic Party with the message, farewell to poverty. That election was contested against the National Republican Convention, which produced Alhaji Uthman Tofa as the presidential candidate. That election took place. Millions of Nigerians voted, and MK Abiola of the Social Democratic Party won the election. That was a glorious moment for Nigeria. At that time, on June 12, 1993, apartheid was still the government of South Africa. Many African countries were still under military rule. Nigeria was having an opportunity to lead Africa and the rest of the world in democratization. Unfortunately, as history shows, undemocratic elements in the leadership of Nigeria at the time annulled that election. Of course, no one can annul the will of the people. But what it meant was that the military government of that time and their collaborators decided to betray the constitution and betray the sovereignty of Nigerians. And now, the journey towards democracy continues. Next year, we are to have another election to elect the president, members of National Assembly, governors, members of the Houses of Assembly of various states. I must thank President Muhammadu Buhari of blessed memory for instituting June 12th as Democracy Day. And I must thank many thousands of Nigerians who lost their lives in defense of June 12th and in defense of democracy. It is a big challenge that 33 years after June 12th, we are still struggling with every problem we had before June 12th. Our search for democracy is currently challenged by the undemocratic practices of the administration of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who himself was a member of the SDP at the time of June 12th. Today, many political parties are under a siege from the government. The civil society is not encouraged, it's rather discouraged. Law enforcement still interfere in politics, and political parties still haven't learned internal democracy. And many of our elections are not anything that can be seen as a successor to June 12. Vote buying, violence, lack of credibility on the part of INEC, and a lot of other undemocratic habits still remain with our people. Today's June 12th is an opportunity for us to remember that Nigeria is a bed, and we can only lie on it the way we lay the sheets. Any Nigerian who is hearing my voice has a role to play in enthroning democracy in Nigeria and ensuring that June 12th is not in vain. Chief MK Abiola himself paid the ultimate price with his life, and Haja Kudirat Abiola, his wife, had paid the price of life even before then. So the sum total of today's message is that we've always been singing that the labors of our heroes past shall not be in vain. The marking of June 12th is the best opportunity for us to see that June 12, 1993 is not in vain. June 12, 1993 will not be in vain. And that in the coming days, we will think about putting in place a government that can enforce Chapter 2 of the Constitution, fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy, that will take care of the people, that will put the welfare, the security, and the well-being of the entire country as the centerpiece of our government. And we will have a government of which we can be proud. One, because that government will have been formed with our votes in a free, fair, and credible election. And that government is full of patriots who have come to execute and implement the Constitution and use the resources of Nigeria to take care of Nigeria, and to project Nigeria to the world, particularly to all the black people and African nations, that we have the destiny to lead the black people out of bondage, and we are not shying away from that responsibility. So I facilitate with you, and I congratulate all Nigerians that we have seen another June 12. We know that poverty, insecurity, and all kinds of problems are militating against people's confidence in our democracy. But I can assure you, there is no alternative better than democracy. I was born and I grew up under military rule. I will never wish for such a dark era to come back again. We must confront all the problems we are facing in our democracy and ensure that we reach that destination. May God bless Nigeria. May God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Meanwhile, like I said, the president himself also addressed the nation. And his first kind of like a statement is about, you can hate me, or sorry, excuse me, you can dislike the government, you can criticize the government, you can talk whatever you want to talk about the government, but do not talk down on your country. Do not hate Nigeria. His own appeal on the Democracy Day 2026. I want us to hear it before we now go to the streets of Nigeria. How is that democracy faring in 27 years of practicing it? I mean, people are beginning to call for military to come back. Some are calling for the breakup of the country. So many other options except from this democracy. What did they do? The typical questions that Nigerians always ask, they will be, how did we get here? Feign ignorance, pretend, or kind of like a living denial. The easy way. I mean, I don't even know how we got to this stage. How did they, But here is called appealing to everyone that no matter how you feel, no matter your political differences, please don't hate Nigeria.
Hey, we celebrate democracy and the enduring Nigerian spirit. For 27 unbroken years, since May 29, 1999, Nigerians have chosen their leaders through the ballot, witnessed peaceful transition of power, and resolved disagreement in courtrooms and legislative chambers, not through violence. We have experienced the longest stretch of civilian rule in our history. Our democracy is not perfect, but it is ours, and we must continue to defend and strengthen it. In the coming days, Ekiti and Osun states will hold elections. I urge INEC, security agencies, and all parties to ensure these polls are peaceful and credible. Democracy fails when citizens doubt the process. To our National Assembly, judiciary, the press, and civil society, you are the guardrails of our republic. Criticize me, disagree with me, but never stop believing in Nigeria. To our young people, Nigeria is your home and your future. Build here, code here, work here, and food here. Every great nation was built by those who stayed to solve problems, but not by those who abandoned ship. To our armed forces, police, and intelligence services, Nigeria salutes your sacrifice. To our traditional rulers, faith leaders, and community heads, thank you for your support of peace and reconciliation. The government cannot do it alone. Today, we honor the resilience of Nigerians who refuse to surrender their faith in freedom and the courage of those who stood firm against intimidation. We pay tribute to patriots who endured persecution, imprisonment, exile, and even death so that future generations could enjoy democracy. I salute labor leaders, journalists, activists, students, women, professionals, political leaders, and soldiers, both those who passed and those still with us, for their patriotic contributions. Though this year's mood is dampened by the abduction of our children in Oyo and Borno, we remain hopeful for their safe return. Democracy without security is not solid enough. That is why this administration has chosen both kinetic and non-kinetic strategies to restore peace, declared a security emergency, and approved the recruitment of 50,000 new police officers and thousands of military recruits. Our 2026 budget commits 5.41 trillion, our largest ever, to defense and security. We have moved from training with our allies to precision targeting. In Arege, we degraded ISWAP and command centers. Terror-related deaths are down by 81% since 2015. Over 13,000 terrorists have been neutralized in the past year. But we also keep the door of surrender open. Over 124,000 fighters and dependents have laid down arms since 2023. Through Operation Safe Corridor, we turn our former enemies into citizens because every life saved is a victory for democracy. To bandits,
nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
Did you hear that? They have had over 120,000 repentant terrorists. They have turned to citizens. They turned their former enemies to citizens, and yet there is no peace. So he actually said more, but that is why I'm actually starting with the boring part. So I want Colu's statement to be on record, and other people's too, right? Please continue to listen.
This a defining chapter in our history. We remember Chief MK Abiola, who won a pan-Nigerian mandate transcending ethnicity and religion. We remember Alhaja Kudirat Abiola. We also remember Chief Ganifa Emi, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Alfred Rwani, and Pa Abraham Adesoya, Chief Anthony Enahoro, Alhaji Balarabe Musa, Commodore Dan Suleiman, Beko Ransom Kuti, Franco Kori, Arthur Nwanko, Chima Obani, Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, and the many other heroes and heroines of democracy whose sacrifices helped secure the freedom we enjoy today. As beneficiaries of their struggle, we have a duty to strengthen and deepen the democratic institutions for which they fought. The greatest tribute we can pay is to build a Nigeria where freedom is protected, justice is upheld, opportunity is expanded, and government is accountable. June 12, 1993, revealed the possibility of a true Nigerian nation. The heroes of June 12 secured political freedom. Our challenge is to secure economic freedom. Democracy must be felt in the quality of people's lives, in opportunities for youth, in prosperous farmers, successful entrepreneurs, and the dignity of our workers. The reforms we are undertaking were not chosen for ease, but for necessity. 3 years ago, our public finances were under severe strain. Investment was discouraged, and economic uncertainty threatened our future. We chose to act, embracing reforms to advance Nigerians' economic freedom. Since 2023, our reforms have restored stability and credibility to economic management. Federation revenues have risen, providing state and local governments with more resources for infrastructure, education, health care, and security. Fiscal transparency has improved. Leakage has been reduced, and public funds are better directed to national priorities. Investors' confidence has returned, with investment in agriculture, energy, manufacturing, technology, mining, transportation, and the creative industries growing. Domestic refinery capacity has increased, strengthening energy security and reducing our reliance on imported petroleum products. By 2023, when we came on board, the electricity sector was characterized by chronic generation shortfalls and unreliable gas supply and transmission infrastructure, so fragile that they could not evacuate available power. Distribution companies were burdened by massive losses and a metering deficit.
The transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
Anyway, it's a speech, because in reality, Nigerians are grumbling, like they're not even grumbling, they are crying. Every day, people continue to ask Tinubu and his supporters, right, that the result of this is reforms. When exactly are they going to start benefiting it? All these figures, all these numbers that they love to flaunt, like to brandish everywhere. The economy is back. The naira is stable. The others, blah, blah, blah. Sure you get. People are supposed to feel that. You get what I mean? But they're not. Rather, they are feeling the opposite. So on the one hand, they are clapping for themselves that they've done so well. But it's just that people are not feeling it. So on the other hand, they're like, we know people are struggling right now. What are you doing? If your reform was hard and it's paying off now because you have figures that says it's paying off now, businesses are making more money, blah, 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 yeah? That should reflect on the people who exist in that economy. They should. But you see, the issue of insecurity continue to cause more destruction, okay, to Nigeria. And that is why it is so crazy that Tinubu cannot prioritize security. Because listen, even for good, kind of like a thinking, okay, let's say it means where you want to do something, as corrupt as they are, okay, there is no development that can take place in a country or in any place where there is no security. So the threat to whatever he thinks he wants to do or whatever reforms he is doing, the threat to that is not those who criticizes him or those who kind of like call him out or call them out every day. Yeah? It is basically on him. You prioritize security so that whatever you want to do, once you take out the insecurity, then you can begin to now have a way to the metric to measure the progress of your reform. But these ones don't care. They are actually giving themselves pass. They are, as much as things have gotten so bad, Tinubu and this gang are still telling themselves that they have done so well, like they have done so well. And their own sort of like a defense is it could have been worse. What could be worse than what people are experiencing right now? Things have gotten so bad and out of hand, even though they are all kind of out of touch. Things have gotten so bad out of hand that parents, as we speak, are now worried if their children are going to come back home safely whenever they go to school. And you see, once that becomes part of the people's reality, we have seen what that did to them in northern part of Nigeria, where the Boko Haram and the likes continue to destroy schools because education is haram or book is haram. So once you get people to be afraid of sending their children, their wards to schools because of insecurity, while you play politics of some people are those who want to make me look bad, some people want me to lose the election, your reform is working, but yet the country is in tatters. So that is why with this latest uprising, which is now spreading slowly like wildfire, right? It all started from the return of a very dark man to Nigeria, where his own supporters turned what was supposed to be a welcome rally to a protest that is now an everyday thing. Yesterday they were attacked. They nearly killed Omoyele Sowore. So I am going to take you through the protests now, the democracy of 27 years in Nigeria, how the people are faring. What are the people saying? Those who are supposed to be beneficiaries of the reforms, what are they saying? And mind you, since it is democracy, as you have those who are calling for Tinubu must go, having their own procession attacked, shot at, tear gassed and all that, right? You also have the Ronu coups, the Ronu Nazis, the Ronu bastards, who are very much also on the streets in Lagos and in Abuja, soliciting for people's solidarity and support for Tinubu, because those who have made Nigeria ungovernable right now are doing so because they want to take over power. Don't give them chance and support Tinubu. I bring you all of that. It is going to be a long watch because I had to combine both yesterday and today's event in series of this protest captured from Ibadan to Ogbomoso to Abuja. Yeah, that's where they attacked them. To Ondo, to Enugu, to Port Harcourt, so many other places captured randomly across the country. So let us start with, in fact, I also saw Falana. Falana was out in Lagos yesterday, under the cover of the Democracy Day, to vent their anger and call on Tinubu's government that every day that these children spend in the hands of their kidnappers, right, continue to showcase Nigeria to the world as a failed country. So bring them back home. So right now we are on the, the campaign for the Bring Back Our Children and Bring Back Our Teachers. So watch this. was Nyanya in Abuja. Yeah. And then that same Abuja yesterday, where these people, because the number keeps growing, I have to be honest with you, except if you have not been following or paying attention, right? So at the Abuja event from that Nyanya and others, right? The police already formed the barricade. And the barricade was to stop them from gaining access to the city, the city center. So, and at the point when they are trying to break the barrier, they started shooting the usual tear gas canisters, in which one of them suffocated Omoyele Sowore, that they had to rush him out of the scene when he seems to have lost consciousness in a way. Then once he got medical attention, he was back on the street. So now let's go to that Abuja from yesterday up to today. And it continues, as I heard, until the children are brought back and this issue of insecurity in Nigeria is actually addressed head-on, not these word salads, flamboyant talks, or talks, no action. Yeah, but sustainability, we'll see. But let's go now back to the protest grounds.
Back in the for Bogota, Ogundoyin Bogota, Shetima for Bogota, IGP for Bogota, Tinubu for Bogota, Tinubu for Bogota, Makinde for Bogota, Ogundoyin for Bogota, Shetima for Bogota. Who is a bandit to us? Who is a killer? Who is a killer? Who is a Who is kidnapper? Who is a
I mean, I don't know whether you will need this.
How can you say it's either I'm calling on them to lay down their arms or they will face the Nigerian state? What do you mean by or? Go into the bush and bring out those children. Like I said, understand. The main problem is that child.
Hey, no more quiet now, yes. Ogu kill you. Mona quiet now, yes. Easy. Mona quiet now, yes. Easy.
You go here later. Like I said, if you keep quiet now, these children where they carry for your state. If you just shut up, you let them go. You go be like Chibok. Up to now, Chibok girls still inside bush. Nigerians moved on too quickly from that matter, so they were never brought back. For this same country again, they kidnap children, carry them enter bush. They never still bring the children. But they kidnap former minister children. They go cycles getting them. You know who is 3 days. So you know where they're there, and you know if you go bring the other one back because they're the poor man children. Because they're the children of the masses. We are not going to let that happen. Bandits must go. 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 Kidnappers must go. Bring back our children. Our children. Bring back our children. Bring back our children. Must go. Must go. Must go. They started all of this. Listen. When they started all of this in the Muslim states, they started all of this in the Arewa states, in the northern states. Yes.
Mona, calm down first now.
When they started all of this in the Muslim community. Nigerians need to pay attention. Nigerians, they don't know for Kaduna, they don't know for Katsina, they don't know for Kano, they don't know for Kaduna, they don't know for Edo, they don't know for Bayelsa, they don't know for Enugu, they don't know for Anambra, they do Oyo State, they say enter Lagos. There is no place that they are not in this Nigeria, they are everywhere. So it's either now or never. The president needs to hear the voice of the people and tell us that, if at all, give us 3 days to bring the people back. That's just what we want to hear. Not all those long empty speeches. Do you understand? So, bandits must go! Terrorists must go! 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 Bandits must go! Boko Haram must go! Terrorists must go! Bandits 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 must go! Terrorists must go! Bandits must go! Terrorists must go! Bandits must go! Bandits must go! Bandits must go! Terrorists must go! Must go! Must go!
A situation whereby innocent school children in Oyo and Borno State are being in the custody of criminals for several weeks now. We are also protesting injustice meted out to young people who are regularly arrested on the highways by the police. We are also protesting hunger in the land. We are protesting poverty in the land. And we are calling on the government that there is no basis for poverty in Nigeria. Our country has enormous material and natural resources and capital resources to make our people happy. 2 weeks ago, we sent a letter to the government of Nigeria to recover the sum of $120.5 billion. If this money is recovered, we have no business taking loans from anywhere in the world. As we are gathered here, or yesterday, the Senate of the Federal Republic was in turmoil because the NNPC has not been able to explain what happened to the sum of 210 trillion naira. Wow! The committee of the Senate has summoned the former GMD of NNPC, Mr. Mile Kyari, for the full house headed by Godswill Akpabio. He said yesterday that the committee has no power to summon the big man. And the Senate apologized to him for embarrassing him. On our own part, we have written a letter to the Senate that we want a copy of the report where it is stated that 210 trillion cannot be explained. Again, if this money is recovered, that should be enough to fix our comatose hospitals, our roads that have been turned into death traps, and provide jobs for young people. Therefore, this protest is also against water insecurity in our country. We are calling on the government as a matter of urgency to rescue the children that are in custody. Just imagine the primary school people, some of them just barely 2-3 years old, have been at the mercy of elements for the past weeks. Come rain, come sunshine, those kids are suffering. No medical attention, no food for them. Yes. And so for us as Nigerians, all of us are in custody, one way or the other. And we demand the immediate release of those children and their teacher. As you are well aware, a teacher.
I mean, protest is good where government can be pressured. Because you see, when you have a popular protest against either government's policies, right? The way government can get their hands forced is where protest actually really matters. Because protest means if you don't listen to them and you see this multitude spread all over the country, demanding for the same thing, right? End this insecurity, bring the children back, and on like that. In a working country, that is probably like, you know, quite the first step before disaster, kind of, you know, the quietness before the storm, they could say, right? So the point is, if you become so unpopular, right, that the people feels like you're not listening to them, or you probably have lost touch, that you can't undo this particular issue anymore, you will lose an election. But in Nigeria, it doesn't work like that, okay? Because at the end of the day, what matter to people during elections proper are not mostly what should ordinarily matter to them. You know, when you're talking about insecurity and you're talking about this, you know, economic downturn, youth unemployment, which basically contributes to this insecurity of a thinking, right? However, policy-wise, you get what I mean? Once the people get to be like out of touch totally, right? In an election, you're gone. But not in Nigeria. People are more interested in their tribal, religious, ethnic, and some other meaningless kind of affiliations that influence their, their voting kind of like a pattern. Anyway, people still protest, and somehow it's like the government themselves. I mean, the Kolu and his own team believes that none of this will change anything, because they can easily just mobilize another set of Nigerians that are going to say everything is fine. And then once you have that kind of state of confusion, division, they don't care. You can keep tearing yourselves apart, right? They will write it again. Write the result again, and we are back to like a square one, if not worse. But I still commend those who have taken it upon themselves to speak up, speak out, because that is also part of the expected roles of every one of us, where people say, well, when you see something, say something. And then maybe after saying something, you should also act too. But like I said, when you're dealing with people who have lost any form of, decorum, any form of decency, any form of kind of like a respect for themselves, for the country, where none of this really matter to them, then they turn it into a violent kind of a thing. Let's crush them. The same old tactics from the colonial time, where they have to use force to break any form of uprising. That's what they did in Abuja yesterday. Like, it was so unnecessary, right? Yeah, people are there protesting, screaming, Tinubu must go, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, there was no real reason to obstruct them, as long as they were never really violent, okay? But they did. First, they put this big barrier, kind of like a barbed wire kind of barrier, to block the main road. That means to stop the procession from them advancing into the city center. And that was where, things got out of hand. And that was where Omoyele Sowore was seen on the ground, like almost unconscious. And it was due to this massive released, tear gas canisters. But why? Right? So I'm going to continue from where Barrister Falana stopped, because I was in Lagos. It wasn't just him. His son, Falz, was also at the scene, making the same demand. Bring back the girls. Everybody comes out, go and bring back the girls. But these guys are like doing the same thing. Keep telling us the same thing. They will soon be back. They'll be back safely. On and on and on, and then day after day. So let's go back to the protest grounds.
Yes. People must go. And your children will benefit from those children and their teacher. As you are well aware, a teacher has been beheaded in order to compel the government to move speedily to have those children released. Great Nigerians. We also want to thank you for coming out today to mark the June 12th anniversary. As you are well aware, there is no democracy in Nigeria. Yes, sir. What we have is civil rule. Yes, sir. Civilian administration. Yes, sir. The struggle for democracy must continue. So we thank you very much and for the media for coming. Great Nigerians. Victoria!
Yes, you can go ahead.
I think everybody has been worsening insecurity. It's unbearable now. So many people being kidnapped, being killed, and it's like every day now there's a new one. There's Zamfara, there's Kebbi, there's Katsina, there's Kaduna, there's Plateau, the most recent in Oyo, and up until now, these kids still are not home yet. They haven't been able to reunite with their family. And on the flip side, in the same Oyo state, the former minister, Adelabu's sister, was kidnapped along with her twin children. Barely 72 hours after, they found a way to free them. They don't care about us. They don't care about ordinary people. But it must be known that no Nigerian life is more important than the other. Every single Nigerian life matters. Every single person must be cared for and protected at all costs. We're here to say, put an end to this kidnapping. Put an end to this thing. Schools are still open. Every single day, students are still being kidnapped. What is going on? This has to stop, and this must stop immediately. The election is and a lot of people are I can't predict who's winning or who's not winning. I think from the general mood, I think we can see how people are feeling. I think we can see the discontent, the dissatisfaction with the way that they've managed their affairs. They've had ample time to show any willingness, any political will to make a difference. But it's clear that they do not want to. And we are going to go to the ballot to show how we fail. I personally believe in the democratic system. I believe in the democratic process, and I'm ready on that day to exercise my franchise.
They go advance. Let's go. Advance. Advance. I don't want to show camera. Advance. Please, don't try your joy.
Please, we don't want anybody standing around. Come and join us. If Nigeria is better, we are better to do. Yes. And your children will benefit from it. Your wives will benefit from it. Your husbands will benefit.
Those children and their teachers. As you
Long watch, isn't it? Yes. And this is the same message. Bandits must go. Insecurity must go. The message itself, to me, doesn't really carry any form of ultimatum, you know, like if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. We're going to occupy this place. We're going to, you know what I mean? Because the only person that can make the bandits go is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah, if you read your constitution enough, you have no idea the power of the president of Nigeria. If you do, for a little bit, you probably won't forgive these guys who continue to give excuses, right? Continue to find reasons why this is probably not really working. It's not like, you know. But yeah, bandits must go. Maybe before things get out of hand completely, right? Then we get to the stage. We are Omoyele Sowore also addressed the protesters in Abuja. We have people from Port Harcourt too who protested and a few other places across Nigeria, okay? You see this next scene. right, covers the moment Showore, the AAC presidential candidate, and was like addressing the protesters, okay, and then the attack, and then aftermath. Because of our time, I think we should get on with that. So, and mind you, a quick reminder, if you have been here for the past hour and you haven't really liked the broadcast or share it as you should, maybe you should do that now, okay? While you watch this next episode or the continuation of Bring Back Our Children in Nigeria.
Yes. And your children will benefit from it. Your wives will benefit from it. Your husbands will benefit from it. So, greatest Nigerian people, today is Democracy Day. The People's Democracy Day, June 12, 2026. And we went round Abuja today. Just like Nigerians are going round Lagos. Nigerians are going round Port Harcourt. They are going around Kano, Jigawa, Duse, Enugu, Sapele, Efuru, Akure, Abeokuta, Aba, Makodi. And all of them are saying one thing and one thing only. Tinubu must go! Tinubu must go! And the reason we want Tinubu to go is Tinubu is a failure. He's a failure, I swear. Tinubu is a bandit. Yes. Tinubu is a terrorist. Yes. And Tinubu is one of the most corrupt human beings in this country. Yes. Yes. Nigerians have no chance, no future, and no opportunity with Tinubu as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes. We are saying Tinubu must go! Because as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, Tinubu cannot command anything anymore. No. Our children are kidnapped them everywhere. Yes. Our teachers are kidnapped. Our mothers are kidnapped. From Zamfara, Katsina, Oyo, Ogun. You go to Sokoto, you go to Niger. Every day killing. Every day they are killing people. The people they cannot kill, they will kidnap. It's true. Your businesses are dying. Every day. Because we want to free them. We want to help Come on, join us! Come on, join us! They don't start. Police are already shooting. Police are already shooting. Police bandits. Wait for me. Go to where you don't want to be right. Is that space for him? No, we'll manage. Let's go. Go where? To the right? To the left. Is at this side. Touching me. Don't worry, that will be not your people. You can join us. Let them kidnap your sleep. Revolution! You need to drop it. Somebody. Hey, Papa. Jesus! Move.
They don't start. They don't start. Police are already shooting. Police are already shooting. Police on the shooter. Police on the shooter. Police on the shooter. Police on the shooter. Police on the shoot. Police on the shooter. Police is already shooting us. You see, Charade don't faint, oh. 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 Nigerian police want this over there. Nigerian police want this over there. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police versus over there. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police workers over there.
Let it be on record. The Nigerian police force.
Nigerian police workers over there. Nigerian police workers over there. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Nigerian police. Who owns this? Nigerian police.
We need air.
Nigeria, our country. Move. No, nobody's running. We are not running. Run, go front, run, go front. All the girls should run. We are not criminals. We are just demanding for our rights. If Tinubu is not a coward, he should not hide behind the scene. He should come and address us directly. Tinubu, ole! We win now, we have Tinubu.
So Showore, Showore lost consciousness at the point that he fell and others actually rescued him, resuscitated him. And a few minutes later, he was back on the streets with the protesters because that didn't actually dissuade anyone. Okay. So yesterday was gone, then today, the story is the same. And mind you, the number has already sort of like grown even bigger. Those who saw them in Abuja today are beginning to feel like this may become a big thing, because right now, those who are with the APC members, they themselves are beginning to also kind of like organize their own solidarity rally. Because according to them, their own narrative is that, yes, things are really tough, but you can't blame Tinubu. These problems have been there before he became your president, and he's doing his best to fix it. those who are making it difficult for him are those who wanted power by all means. And therefore, they didn't care if they have to, like, that narrative, that shallow narrative. Because you can't keep saying some people are doing this. If you believe that, at the same time, you should be able to question those who gave you such information. I mean, those in government are using this narrative, not knowing that they are using, I mean, this particular narrative is basically to expose their own incompetence or maybe collusion. Because you can't tell me that there are people who are powerful than the government of Nigeria that for a decade, okay, for a decade, even a child born 10 years ago is much, much aware of the state of things in the country as we speak, and children especially. If they were not, in the last 1 week or two, they are very much aware, because now that their parents are more worried about them going to school, so they are aware. So how can somebody who have been in government, in politics for 27 years or more, right, be pretending that this is new? So therefore, if there are some people in Nigeria that are so powerful that they didn't want this Tinubu's government, and they couldn't really, you know, removing through elections. So therefore they resorted into, you know, terrorism and all that. It is so shallow, it doesn't make any sense. These whole killings have been there even before Tinubu came, right? And then we have seen how it has now progressed, advanced to areas that used to be so peaceful. This is the difference. Like, people are not, I am not one of those who believes that, well, Tinubu created this in that sense, okay? But he is in charge now. It is so shallow. It is stupid, right? For anyone to boldly say Tinubu should not be blamed because some people are those behind these killings. So Nigerians are fair game. You know, the stupidity in that statement is that you could be the next victim. It could be your parent, it could be your loved one, it could be your village. It could be your own, that same town that you feel like it will never reach or get to you. Now, reality in Nigeria today shows everyone that don't be deluded. If you are living in that delusion that somehow it can't happen in your area, I am probably trying to snap you back to life. Because everyone is a fair game. And the only person that can actually stop that is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. If they have identified that some people are sponsoring this to tarnish him, the job is easier then, right? You pick them up. Once you cut the head of the snake, I think, I bet the rest of the rest of the snake is meaningless or useless. But you can't boldly come around and say Nigerians should, you know what? Nigerians shouldn't be emotional about this. Tinubu is doing his best. But some people, who are these some people? Man, we're supposed to start actually the slap all those guys, all those educated morons, right? They used to use that same narrative. You see anybody around you using the narrative of some people are the ones who are making it difficult for Tinubu because they hated him, because they wanted him to lose and all that. So you should be ashamed. If you see anybody who says that around you, they should be ashamed of themselves. Because I can some people, they're doing this to me when I am the president of the country, and I know them. And I'm not in support of this. I am not in bed with this. What do you think is going to be the right thing to do for a leader? But for those who are demanding for the bring back our children, they seem to be resolute, determined. Watch the remainder part of that protest in this next clip. This and the others that happened yesterday and today. Watch this.
Either by negligence or by his own conspiracy. When I mean his own conspiracy, what people are doing in Nigeria is worse than what bandits and terrorists are doing in Nigeria. We are no longer pretending that we can continue like this. And one of the things we are going to be asking for is for Tinubu to resign if he cannot continue in the illegitimate position he took in 2023. And that is why we are back on the streets on June 12, 2026. So 33 years after a watershed election was held by Nigerians and was truncated by the military. The military man who truncated it is in Lina. But what has happened and what we have discovered is that Tinubu was partly part of the people who truncated 2023 election. Because by his conduct, he has not behaved like a Democrat. And I'm an example of it.
It's a Nigeria that peace reigns.
Wow.
It's a green land. I drive all the way from Lagos to Imo State. That's my best journey in my life. I love road travel. But today I am denied of my best form of travel. So many Nigerians love to have it on the road. But we are no more safe. Please, we are begging the government. We are begging you. Don't let this go too far.
Yes, sir.
Don't let it go too far.
Yes, sir. Tell them, sir.
I'll be your children tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
My children are not in that forest.
Thank you, sir.
But somebody's children are there.
Thank you, sir.
Please, let's stop this killing.
Yes, sir.
Let's stop bandits from taking over our country.
Yes, sir.
Our country is taking away with all of us.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Where are we going to be? Some of us can travel overseas and have homes there. Yes. For those of us who stay here, we stay here, we die here.
Yes, sir.
So we beg. This protest is not against the police. Yes, sir. It's not against any Nigerian. Yes. But this protest is against bad governance.
Yes. Yes.
And we are saying that banditry must stop.
Yes.
Kidnapping must stop.
Yes.
Corruption must stop.
Yes.
Raping must stop.
Yes.
Corruption must stop.
Yes.
From the airport, and I saw that my people are here. I'm just landing from the airport now. I say I must join soul to them with Nigerians to say,
yes,
for you, to bring back our children, bring back our girls.
Yes.
Bring back our children.
Yes.
Bring back our children. Bring back our children. Bring back our children.
So we are at Cairo Bridge, where the Rattle movement has organized a protest. Calling for good security conditions of Nigerians and asking our government to end bad governance.
Everybody mad.
We are at Cairo on the bridge where protesters have gathered, the Rattle movement have gathered to protest against bad governance, insecurity, the release of the Orire children, and also calling for they said they are calling for the resignation of the president if he cannot protect them. As you can see, this is Cairo Bridge.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So we're live at Cairo Bridge, where
Let's go!
bala'in nan ga matasa sun zo ana protest yanzu sun zo daidai inda hoton Tinubu yake ana kira shi da ole bi ma'ana barawo kenan gashi na happening yanzu an zo wato kafin office na Tinubu matasa sun zo suna zagi suna nuna rashin amincewarsu bala'in nan wallahi Tinubu ya tafi kenan ka duba ku gani fa ga tawagan matasa sun zo suna kiran shi da ole bi ma'ana barawo kenan gashi nan matasa sun nuna ba su yadda ba suna kiran Tinubu da ole ga jagoran gwagwarmayin nan ɗan takarar shugaban ƙasa tsohon shi ma yana mai da martani shi matasa ta zuwa da kuma wani gashi nan ana ta kiran shi da cewa Tinubu dole sai ya tafi gashi kuma an yi dai protest an gama lafiya an wuce.
Tell me what are we producing and selling to other countries? Not even slippers. We eat the skin of our cows instead of turning them to beautiful bags and shoes. Eliminate that. It's a sign of poverty. If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful, again, a town hall, different from Blue Bulaba.
Blue Bulaba. So part of the protesters today were also asking Tinubu to please leave them alone. They asked him to resign if he can no longer protect them. Well, Tinubu won't resign. You know he won't, right? Bandits must go. Kidnappers must go. They're not going to go anywhere if those who are actually meant to make them go are not only trying to placate them. It is in Nigeria. We have rehabilitation for repentant terrorists, but there is no rehabilitation for their victims. There is no rehabilitation for the victims of terrorism in Nigeria. But hundreds of billions of naira have been expended in the name of Operation Safe Corridor, rehabilitating repentant terrorists. They brandish different figures. Borno State alone claimed to have rehabilitated over 180,000 repentant terrorists and their families. And there is this trick, okay? The government of Nigeria, successive government of Nigeria have shown, especially that of the APC, they have shown that they do not have the political will to tackle to tackle these killings. Rather, they are offering kind of like an olive branch. They are offering paradise and all of that to these terrorists. Example, under Bukwari, they wanted Nigerians to part with their lands where these marauding terrorists will be relocated or resettled. They did all kinds of tricks in the book. People saw through the entire lies and they suspect, people have already lost trust in the system anyway. So there's nothing you put before them that is going to really fly, except if you force it. Forcing it is sort of like will have its own complications. And that means communities where you are going to have to take these murderers and all that, all this group of people to, will likely end up becoming their victims when they will unleash their war on them and all that. So you can't force it. Buhari didn't succeed. Buhari gave over 10 billion naira. That's like almost $11 million at the time to Oplesus Odijo in Imo State. Opus Odijo collaborated with the military and they started targeting their youth in Olu, Ozu, right? Where they intentionally created this scene of terrorism so that at the end of the day, it was about land grabbing. Land he promised to give to Buhari for the money he collected. And this was way back in 2019. The same way that is now Devulumayi collected the same money. And look at what that turned him to. But somehow they've not really succeeded to proudly say they have allocated lands for these murderers. But behind the scene, they were trying to play it safe in a way that they would not want to condemn this murderous Fulani terrorists. Because behind the scene, they are working with the federal government in what they call their own solution, okay? Working with the federal government to create some settlement areas, okay, for these terrorists. But we can handle our people. They've not been able to. Then Tinubu came in. And people thought all the privileges that these Fulanis enjoyed under Buhari would suddenly be gone under Tinubu, because they wouldn't want to look the other way, watching Nigerians being slaughtered like this. But people were wrong. It didn't take time. It is the same Tinubu that released over 300 billion naira for what they call this, it's practically Ruga, okay? Money given to some of these states 5 states in northern part of Nigeria shared part of this money. And for the past 2 years, not a single one of them has been able to build a successful Ruga settlement, a cattle colony, or a cattle settlement, or a ranch. Not a single one of them. This APC, Egbekegbe. So meaning their plan to want to placate the terrorists, the corruption in the system has already eaten into that. It has already failed. Tinubu now capped it all, created a ministry of livestock, where they have a substantive minister, a full ministry for Fulani terrorists. They've had that minister for over a year now. None of this. Giving money to state to create Ruga or farm settlement or whatever. It didn't settle the killings. Promising to rehabilitate terrorists. Operation Safe Corridor. It didn't reduce the killings. None of this. Then creating ministry, a whole ministry for these guys also did not reduce the killings. So what else do you think will reduce the killings? Political will. When they genuinely stop trying to manage this terrorism, right? When they actually say, no, it's over. There is no more carrot and stick. It is completely stick now. Political will. They don't have it, right? And that is the doom of Nigeria. Here is the rest of their protest today.
Tinubu, I'm just 19 years and you want to finish me. I'm 19 years and I look like 45. I'm 19 years and I look 45. Tinubu, leave us, oh, fine walking us. Fine walking us. Tinubu, leave us, fine walking us. Tinubu, break up with us, oh, we don't need you. Tinubu, you must go. Tinubu, you must go. Tinubu, you must go. We know what Agbado. How Yoruba man gonna feed us to Agbado? How Yoruba man gonna feed us to Agbado? Yes, what did you amala? This my guy is just 22 years old. My guy, and he looks 52. 58. He looks 58. He's just 22 years old. Waiting, why watching Nigeria? They will lie. They will lie watching Nigeria. Tinubu, you must go. Leave us alone. Tinubu, break up with us. Tinubu, you are not us. We don't need you. Nigeria does not need you. Tinubu, break up, oh. 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 If you don't make us see enter power. Hey, Tinubu, this guy is just 14 years old. And he looks 22. Tinubu, why? Tinubu, why? Tinubu, why? Tinubu, why? This my guy is just 25 years old. And he looks 77. Tinubu, why? Tinubu, why is fight kicking Nigerians? Agbado don't tire us. Agbado don't tire us. Agbado don't tire us. Agbado don't tire us. They must go. They must go. They must go. Agbado don't tire us. Agbado don't tire us. Tinubu, leave us. Tinubu, leave us. Tinubu, break up with us. Tinubu, you are so toxic. Must go. Must go. Must go. Must go. Must go. Must go. Tinubu must go! What are you saying? Bring back our children! 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 Enough is it! Enough is it! Bandits! Must go! Must go! Must go! Must go! Must go! Must go! Bandits! Must go! Bring back our children! Bring back our children! Bring back our children! The terrorists are not more powerful than our efforts.
They are not more powerful than our.
We are out. Tinubu must go. We are out. Banditry must end. Tinubu must go. Enough is enough. VH Ratters on the move. We are tired of the bad government. We are tired of this bad government. The people must go. Banditry must end. Our children must come back. We are tired. We cannot take this anymore. Yes, we cannot take it anymore. We are out. The people must go.
Make Tinubu go. Make Tinubu go. We don't tire. Make Tinubu go. We don't tire. Make Tinubu go.
No, okay. Although that way,
Any security. Any security. What are we saying? 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 Any security. All for one. All for all. All for one. All for all. Yesterday they carry people children for Bonu on a keep quiet. They carry for Oyo on a keep quiet. Then now when they go back on that go talk. Enough is said. Enough is said. What are we saying? Any security. 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 Is Nigeria safe? No. Is Nigeria safe? No. Is Nigeria safe? No. Enough is safe? No. Enough is safe? No. Bring back our children. Bring back our children. Nigerians, greatest Nigeria people. Greatest of the greatest Nigeria people. I can never be intimidated Nigeria people. How many times president died? We have a right to be alive. Yes. We have a right to speak up. Yes. It is our fundamental right. Yes. And we are not letting anybody trample on it. Yes. Yeah, we follow.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one to, if I'm tired, I say, please, forget it. I don't
forget it. Meanwhile, like I said, as you had those who are shouting, Tinubu must go, bandit must go, insecurity must go, and all of that, so did those who support the government too. They were all out, this time to explain to us what is really going on and why Tinubu cannot go, he must stay. First, the press conference where they condemned this recent protest that the children kidnapped from their schools in Oyo State should be brought back safely. So they are like, this protest shouldn't even be happening. In fact, the very dark man and others behind it are either being sponsored, the typical talk, they're the same talking point, right? So The line is open, by the way, in case if you are probably trying to get through. Okay, I'm going to begin to kind of like take the course soon. All right. But first, next, the turn of those who believe that Nigeria is not as bad as the protesters are kind of proclaiming their points.
The amalgamation, therefore, encourages youth across the country to embrace initiatives that promote dialogue, promote innovation and entrepreneurship, leadership and productive citizenship. Vote of confidence on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Having carefully assessed the trajectory of governance over the last 3 years, the amalgamation hereby passes a vote of confidence on the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. We acknowledge that the reforms undertaken by the administration have required sacrifices from Nigerians. However, we also recognize that many of these decisions were necessary to correct long-standing structural distortions that hindered national development. We therefore urge Nigerians, especially the youth, to remain patient, to remain resilient, to remain supportive as the nation continues on the path of reforms and recovery. Key achievement of the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu ranges from economic reforms, fiscal stability, youth empowerment and human capital development, infrastructure and investment, governance and security, energy transition and renewable development. Therefore, the amalgamation commends President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to energy transition, renewable energy development, and sustainable energy security under the Renew Hope agenda. A key milestone is the revised National Energy Policy and National Energy Master Plan, framework designed to guide a long-term development, accelerate renewable energy deployment, improve efficiency, attract investment, and expand access to affordable, sustainable power. We also acknowledge the leadership of the Director General and CEO of the Energy Commission of Nigeria, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, under whose leadership the Commission has driven implementation of this framework, while recording key achievements. The Renew Hope Solarization Program, the 7MW Solar Power Project at Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, Nigeria First Electric Vehicle Charging Station in Abuja, the Barefoot Renewable Energy College in Kogi State, and the inauguration of the National Energy Master Plan Implementation Committee in MNK, just to mention but a few. Solidarity with the victims of insecurity in Nigeria. The amalgamation extends its deepest sympathy and solidarity to all Nigerians currently affected by insecurities, especially victims of kidnapping, banditry, terrorism, and other violent crimes. We call for the immediate release of all persons being held captive by criminal elements across the country. We equally urge security agencies to intensify efforts towards apprehending and prosecuting all perpetrators responsible for this heinous crime against innocent Nigerians. We especially appreciate our dear brother and leader, Barrister Shehu Tinubu, the concerned son of the President, for his continued support to Nigerian youth globally. Build the youth. Build the nation. Build the youth. Build the nation. Build the youth. Build the nation. Destroy the youth. Destroy the nation. A call to Nigeria youth. This is not the time for despair. This is not equally a time for division. This is the time for Nigeria youth to unite behind the ideals of peace, productivity, innovation, patriotism, and non-nation building. The future of Nigeria cannot be outsourced to a few individuals. It must be built collectively by millions of determined young Nigerians who believe in the possibilities of this nation. The amalgamation, therefore, calls on all Nigerian youth to reject divisive narratives, embrace national unity, support constructive engagements, and participate actively in initiatives that advance development and strengthen our democracy. Together, we can build the Nigeria of our dream. Nigeria will not be divided. Nigeria will not be sabotaged by bad elements. Nigeria will rise against all odds. Build the youth. Build the youth. Build the youth. Build the destroy the youth. Destroy the I welcome you most sincerely to this August and all-important press conference.
Nuisance, Lele.
I'm move past you. You know I'm more rich guy. I swear to God that talk. I'm move past you. I'm move past you, Gege. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God, I'm move past you. You don't see where they move before. Me, Gege. I'm move past you. I'm move past you. You know I'm more rich guy. I swear to God that talk. I'm move past you. I'm move past you.
Live now, and usually they always have all these funny groups, and whenever there is an event going on, you just see these random people, and then they will give themselves names that will match that current event, like the youth against Tinubu must go. And then they will say, the constitution of our association says, what are you talking about? Constitution of what? That they just gathered, some of you are mostly the Oceans, the cretins, the APC, dingbats, right? So they bring them together and then they put them in front of cameras and they begin to spew gibberish, nonsense. But they will look so serious because they are part of the rotten system, those who makes the rot fester. You never really kind of like miss, finding them in abundance in Nigeria. They are always there available. They will give themselves title. I am the Director General of Tinubu Must Not Go project. Say, what is Tinubu Must Not Go? Tinubu Must Go is something that started 2 or 3 days ago. How come you've created an association within that same 72 hours to now counter that? But it is Nigeria. If you remember those ones who were campaigning for Abacha to be lifetime president, remember? There were young people then, young, old group, different groups, hundreds of them, all over Nigeria, begging Abacha to continue. Abacha should continue. Abacha should be president. They had 5 political parties. And all the 5 political parties adopted one person as their presidential candidate. And there were people, Nigerians, human beings, educated ones, and the uneducated ones. They formed groups begging Abacha to be president, while others are like running into the bushes, like hiding themselves away from Abacha's gulag. It is Nigeria. There is one of them who probably believes that he is more aware of what is going on than what some of you don't know. Therefore, give Kalu a chance. He would be victim of the same rotten system. It's right there, promoting it, preaching, and there are many others. Yeah, watch this.
If you want to become president, you will go hide our children. We will say enough is enough. That you allow President Fulani to go on. We are just here for you 5 minutes and we will go. The rest are on media. Yes. So as I see like that, they're very, very happy. Anytime I see police for road, people know me, they know me. And they come down, respect them, search me, what's your problem? They will search me and show them my paper, my driving license, and go. That is how it should be. Don't say go see police, they harass them. They spoil the country every second. They are giving the country bad name every second. You say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Tinubu don't walk. Allow Tinubu to
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is our father, and we are gathering our vote. Maximum support for President Asiwaju re-election. It is very, very sacrosanct and germane that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu return to office. We are very, very proud of him.
Nigeria is doing better. Tinubu is transforming Nigeria. Tinubu is our hero. Kenny, where you? Kenny! Aṣíwájú dáwọ̀ náà, hero Maloja o, hero Maloja o. Ayé yóò tẹ ẹgbẹ́lẹ̀, stage of God. We shall stand on your Monday, Bola on your Monday, Bola on your Monday. We shall stand. I am standing before you to address us East Lagos West Coordinator for National Youth Council of Nigeria.
If you want to become president, you will go hide our children. We will say enough is enough.
So, somebody was outside, telling people in public that some people hate the children, and nobody was there to give him 500. Now that kind of 500 that is like thunderous, kind of wise. He's confidently talking nonsense, and therefore he said they should leave Tinubu alone. Who should we hold? They said we should all turn to vigilantes. We should possibly become soldiers and confront these terrorists. We should cooperate with Tinubu. He's got everything. He's got all the money, he's got the resources, he's got the men, like he's got everything. Deploy them, the political will too. But I think that is what is missing. So they too are promising that they are going to continue their own campaign, right? And here is the Olodu of Kogi, who was there to address the people after the kidnap attempt in the state 2 days ago. So here is his own statement, you know, dressed in the military fatigue.
Of our gallant officers, the army, the police, DSS, civil defense, our vigilante, and of course, the local hunters. This is our land. This is our state. We cannot leave it for any criminals. The first line of defense is yourself. Please, let us wake up to this challenge. Give us credible information. Give us timely information. Don't harbor criminals. Don't hide them. Don't romance them. Don't provide them with logistics. With this, we will rid them out of our land. They won't come in their numbers, but they will go in their zeros. I have said it. I might not be talking. I have signed with my people to provide that security of lives and livelihoods. I am not afraid of any criminals. I am not afraid of their sponsors. They will come, we will deal with them. Enough is enough. I am with you. We are with you. We will continue to fight them. We are not lazy. We are known to be hardworking people. We don't beg. We have our land, very fertile land. We have everything. But they want to push us away. We will not allow that. We are not going to play politics with the lives of our people. Nothing, no amount of resources is too much to save a soul. I am ready to do that. I am with you. I will continue to work with you. I sincerely sympathize and condole the families of those that lost their life yesterday. We pray to God Almighty to forgive them their sins. We pray to God Almighty to grant them Al-Jannah to Firdaus. They have paid the supreme price for us to live. And by the special grace of God, we will not forget them. Please, we are with you. Please, I am begging you. The youth, this is our land. This is our heritage. This is where we were born, and we will not leave it for anybody. Please don't collaborate with them. Give us information. Give us timely information.
They are stranger. They are stranger. And of course, no matter how weak we are, you cannot come into our land and defeat us. So alhamdulillah, Politico is gone and is gone forever. So we continue to hunt them. As I am talking to you, we are still hunting them. We have picked most of them between yesterday and now. And as I'm talking to you now, we have just picked 2 of them also. And in Kogi State, let me tell you, I don't know of tomorrow. We don't have station for criminals. We don't have department of arrest. When we get you, we treat you the way it should be. On that note, Kogi State will continue to stand strong. We will continue to defend our people. And by the grace of God Almighty, we will continue to defeat those who seek to undermine our peace. Thank you and God bless you.
So that's Olodo of Kogi giving his own morale boosting speech, assuring the people that it's going to be like collective battle where everybody is going to be on board and they would not be pushed into the bush by these terrorists. Or talk. Okay. So people are demanding for more actions than talks. But the politicians continue to give us speeches after speeches. Some of them are so blunt. Some of them are so like ordinary, pedestrian. And then they do it again. It's like they just have this copy and paste, remove this, remove that, remove this last location where people got killed, or replace it with this new location. If you start scrutinizing most of their speeches, right, they are probably like the same draft. Just make some edits. Just talks. And when they are tired of talking, they will start asking us to pray. You know, we need to pray. We shouldn't be condemning. We have to kind of like pray. Pray for the people who have all they need to end this madness, or those who are actually killing us, that God should touch their hearts to stop, since those who are constitutionally empowered to protect us are asking us to pray. So we must ask for the prayer point, shouldn't we? Like, what should be our prayer point? If we have to pray, they say pray for peace. How? As how now? A man who spends a lot of his time, risked everything to warn us of the danger we are now battling, that the criminal politicians continue to manage rather than do everything to end. Maazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, you know his story. Persecuted, hunted down. Nigeria invested so much money, not just on how to get or to kidnap him and possibly even kill him. It is the money they spent on propaganda to justify the reasons why terrorists are comfortable in Nigeria and activists have become endangered. Maazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's under this APC, that have come to realize that in Nigeria that they have created for us, the Nigeria they wanted us to live in, is a place where terrorists are celebrated, activists are jailed, persecuted. So a lot of people believe that if Nigeria could expend so much resources in tracking Nnamdi Kanu and then bringing him to Nigeria to even jail him with, with no real verifiable law of the land, that's how desperate they were. So how come they are not this desperate dealing with these marauders who have vowed to finish all of us? Many questions, right? So Peter Obi was in Washington, D.C. a few days ago. So he was addressing the gathering of some Nigerians who were asking him questions and all that. They were asking him about the election, that why is he so sure that he should be participating in this election when it's obviously going to be rigged? Then he replied, well, rigging happened when people allowed it. The moment people are not or people reject any form of rigging and not support it, the rigging dies. So he was also asked about the persecution of the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. His response is the same as is always kind of like responded. Peter Obi believes that the persecution of Nnamdi Kanu is completely unnecessary, unneeded, avoidable. That, oh, he is abusing people on his podcast, on his radio and all that. You don't go about and invest so much in jailing such a person. And then he narrated the kind of like his own story of how much people continue to disparage and tell lies and say things that are completely not true about himself. So, well, he's not president anyway, so therefore we wouldn't know if he is not going to jail anyone right now, that he's not got the power to jail anyone. So anyway, it was there to openly again remind everyone that if he was the president of Nigeria, Nnamdi Kanu won't be in prison, because the reason why they jailed him is not like enough to send somebody to prison in a democracy, except if a crime has been committed. I'll come back to that. Somebody's on the line. Are you still there? Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Good evening.
Air Force One.
Yes, Baba.
Good evening, Baba. How are you?
Yes. I'm just thinking about the shenanigans. Oh my goodness, I look at Nigeria and I don't even know where to start. Like, some people are protesting that things are not going well. Evident. The handwriting is everywhere. On the other hand, some people also gathered to counter.
Because it's a democracy.
What they are saying. Baba, how are we going to escape this? How are we going to, get out of this captivity? Because this is just so insane. This is very, very insane. Look at is that a captain or a major? That army officer that just spoke. I don't know who he is though. Look at everything he's saying. Lying. You are doing this, you are doing that. I thought they said the Nigerian military are one of the most powerful, powerful in Africa. I don't know, whatever accolade they are doing themselves. They always say that thing now. I don't know if that Nigerian military is one of the best. So they are no more the best.
A lot of water has passed under the bridge for a while. A lot has changed.
Yeah. So they've lost their potency, their credibility. They've reintegrated terrorists into their midst, and no one to be trusted any longer. I will look at the president's speech. I feel like just going there and smack that mic. Lying.
On the one hand, though, the reform is working now. The country is out of the wood. On the other hand, people are suffering because they are not feeling the reform yet. They will still feel it. But I'll stay in one place.
I want to ask you, this reform thing, okay? I've been thinking about it lately.
Right.
What is going on? Do they actually did that reform? And if they did, why are you not showing? Because I remember from day one, you've been talking about this reform that is food the economy. Is there any way you can do a program that's possible to analyze why this thing is not even having any effect on the market?
Because it's voodoo. It's all cooked up numbers. It all started from them rebasing the unemployment figure. Before they came in, officially, unemployment figure in Nigeria was over 40%. Underemployment, which is also a problem. There are people who pretended that they have a job, but they can't even feed themselves, okay? So underemployment, they said, out of those who are like employed in Nigeria, 85% of them are underemployed, which means what they take home can't take them home. Okay? So if you now put the whole bracket together, it simply means averagely more than 60% of Nigerians are unemployed. I mean, people who have one skill or the other to be employed, they are not employed. And that's a big thing. Okay? But Tinubu and his gang came in. They changed. They said, no. If you are running errand for somebody on your streets and they give you money, you watch car for somebody on your street, your neighbor, they pay you. That is you that you are earning money. Okay? That all those people are supposed to be covered. That in a month, some people collect more than 50,000, 100,000 naira from running errands. They now said those people are employed. So now, at the end of the day, they said Nigeria have no unemployment problem. Now, how do you plan when you have already rigged the same data that you're supposed to use in planning? You get that now? Yeah. So that's Genesis. Once they rigged everything, they are now working with fraudulent data. So they will tell their people one thing, all right? But on the other hand, they are working with very, very wrong data and expecting a better result. It doesn't work like that. If you are doing a reform, for example, by now, the Minister of Power should be bold enough to be giving numbers, okay? Be giving the number of, new stations they are building, the old ones they are fixing, the capacity of every one of them, the delay they have in transmitting of these electricities. All this information, these are progress people can track, okay? They can say it's true, but rather they will tell you about Coastal Road. They will tell you about the Sokoto Badagry Road. What are these guys talking about? How does that immediately affect people now if you're actually having a reform? Do you get what I mean now? So this is why the reform is not affecting anyone. They are spending so much money to bring food to Nigeria now by September, which is their effort to see if they can crash the food prices. Tinubu got over 9,000 farm implements, tractors, harvesters, da. That's over a year ago. Up to this moment, they can't show us a single farm that they can see. Individuals are having 10 acres, 20 acres of farms in Nigeria. But there's nowhere in Nigeria that you can see anywhere they will say this is a government farm. And they have 100,000 acres of land cultivated. 400,000 acres of land cultivated. There's nowhere in Nigeria that the federal government of Nigeria can say, but rather, they will go to all these all these small farms that a whole state will say they are doing 3 plots of land, 4 plots of land somewhere. They will do pictures and they say agricultural revolution in Jigawa, agricultural revolution in this. But on the surface, right, Nigeria is losing stuff that Nigeria used to produce en masse, like ginger. Nigeria has lost its place in ginger production in the world. So I can go on and on and on and on. So if you are doing any reform, they are supposed to be specific. Power, rail, road, security. They are supposed to be things you track, but they are only selling voodoo to the people, promising them things, giving them imaginations. Then when people look back and say, what happened now? They'll give them another story. That's voodoo economy. Air Force One. Anyway, I'll leave you because of our time, okay? Now let's share this Peter Obi's view on the persecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as well as his own response to an already rigged election conspiracy. To him, it doesn't matter. The people are those who are either going to let it or reject it. These two clips, or this one clip, or say two in one clip, covers that. Peter Obi in Washington.
I've said repeatedly that there's no reason for keeping Nnamdi.
That's right.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no reason whatsoever that you cannot arrest somebody because he was speaking
on radio is calling people names. Doesn't make sense. You know, everybody can tell you anything. I'm a politician. People call me some names, and I don't think calling me names have anything to do with. It's an offense. It's not an offense. So for me, I said it that even all agitators, if I'm in government today, I will discuss with them. I will engage. I will consult them. Because I believe that they have a reason for whatever they want to do. It's only by engaging them that we'll learn and see how we can solve it and everything. And that's my own, but I'm not in position to do anything today. You're talking about an issue of, yes, somebody mentioned how we sure the elections are not going to be rigged. Elections are rigged in Nigeria because Nigerians want it to be rigged. It's as simple as this. I do whatever is possible to protect the vote, but unless Nigerians decide that their vote will count, it will not count. Because if you vote and you say you're pulling booth and say that this must be counted here, it will be counted. But Nigerians, because our politics is transactional, the average Nigerian doesn't know who is his problem. He thinks his problem. So a Nigerian will never go to and vote and go home and go to night vigil, when he should actually stay. The night vigil will be on counting his vote, and he will count the person to count that vote. But he will vote and go to night vigil on Saturday, and that's not praying, because he thinks that he's the only person God created and God will solve his problem. No, the problem is, the question is to ask yourself today, what is the problem of Nigeria?
It's diverse. There's a lot of problems.
Huh? Say it what?
It's diverse. I think there's a lot of problems in Nigeria that we need to address. Yeah. It's diverse.
What do you think the problem of Nigeria is?
I don't know, sir. I'm not in your...
No.
You answered.
Nigeria have only one problem.
That's right. Okay.
Leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other thing, God gave Nigeria everything. I can tell you, Nigeria is more blessed than this country.
That's right.
100%. You have leadership. What you have is leadership problem. Yeah. And rather than deal with that problem, you abandon it and be looking for what is not the problem. Yes. So if Nigerians know that their problem is leadership, they'll face it. That's right. And insist that they must get good. That's right. And that's it. So everybody will be part of protecting that vote. There was another question. Yes, question. Yes.
Stand up.
He asked about cyber. Yes. Let me tell you. Not much has been done about that. Because I come to talk about security regulation. Not much has been done about that. It's something that requires people for me a lot of learning. A leader is a learner and a listener. Unless you learn, if you know everything, you don't know. I've said repeatedly that there's no reason for keeping learning.
That's right.
As far as I'm concerned,
and he didn't lie. When he was asked about Kenneth Okonkwo, right? This is what Obi had to say. He said, well, he doesn't want to be what you can call, what's that? Like, he doesn't want to be rascally, you know, dealing with any issue the way some people wanted him to probably do. And here is response.
There are other questions about people in your party that are unhappy. Case in point, Kenneth Okonkwo, who used to be, or was a spokesperson of the Labour Party, that feels that you are not acting to resolve a lot of these issues, so he has left. What is your position on trying to keep people like that within the party, or what's your position on Kenneth Okonkwo's position?
I've told you, I think I said it, I can't act rascally. I've never been known to be somebody who operates rascally. I operate within the rules, within the guidelines and everything. And that's what we want to enthrone. You know, it's easy for anybody to say anything. You know, like I said, all those who left are my brothers. They are my people, who are my associates, whom I worked, whom I'm pleased with and everything. But I would never be part of what I'm trying to change. If I wanted that, I wouldn't have finished being governor when in the history of the country nobody left money. I would have taken it like every other person. So if you want to, if you say this is what you want to do, I would have signed into law, which has already been passed by the House, my own pension like every other person did. So if you want to change something, a leader must be an exemplary person by his behavior and conduct, even when it does not favor him. What is happening in Labour Party today is not what I wish. Even if I'm going to lose from it, it will not make me to act rascally. I must act and work within the law. And like you can go and check all my involvement since I started this politics, or even in business. You will never see me involved in area where people will say he acted rascally. People can speculate, people can even fake it there, but never.
There are other questions about.
I don't know if that's probably did justice to the question, but that's will be for you. So people have already started seeing the movement of what they believe military hardwares, right, in Oyo State. A quick reminder that even though we might have not seen any results because of what we suspected to either have been their corruption, the incompetence, or probably the compromise within the system, okay? But they are trying to show to us that a lot is going on. And in fact, it is not just about the children they have taken in Oyo State, okay? It is the presence of these dangerous terrorists in Oyo State. So I have an impression that, well, a lot is going on. So they saw this and somebody captured it on camera, believed to be military hardware headed for Oyo North, the northern part of Oyo State.
Kilo de ó ti di mẹ́rin ó ti di mẹ́rin gbogbo tá máa rí lélẹ̀ márùn-ún ó tún bọ́ lẹ́yìn o ọmọ ó ti di mẹ́fà méje
fún gbogbo aráàmù ni àwọn bandits tí ó.
Boko Haram ni our bandits. And then Bianca Ojukwu, your new foreign affairs minister, was in Ethiopia yesterday in a new deal believed to have been prisoner swap between Nigeria and Ethiopia, a deal that allowed Nigerians in prison in Ethiopia to go back to Nigeria and complete their prison sentences, and they probably go. So she was there. And it seemed like many of them in Ethiopian prisons actually loved this opportunity because they seem so happy. And from the scene, right, from the place where they signed the final documents and probably getting to get them evacuated or removed from Ethiopia, I found this video. Bianca. So on that note, I'm going to call it tonight. Okay. So I want to say a big thank you to every one of us here tonight again in the Temple of Truth. Just remember, if you haven't really liked or shared the video, you should. Okay. And possibly join me another time. So from here, I'm going to say a very good night to every one of you. Have a great week.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun diary Politico. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.